Hi there, Mrs. Sitter here. I'd like to read a book to you today. I was just looking through this one and I thought I would share it with you. It's called Love by Helen O'Dare, Nicola O'Byrne. Love stretches up, up, tall like a tree, and love goes as deep as the big blue sea. Love has wings that help you fly above the clouds in the big blue sky. Love is there in a tickle and a giggle, and always in a big belly laugh wiggle. Love can be loud like a trumpet's blare that sometimes catches you unaware. Love is a book and a warm milk mug and makes the rainy days all cozy and snug. Love can be yummy like a chocolate cake that we've made and put in the oven to bake. Love can make you sing out loud. You always make me feel so proud. Love can be splashes and soap and bubbles. I will always love your nighttime cuddles. Love is strong and true, like a big bear hug that you give to a sleepy little snuggle bug. Love is for you to hold and to keep. It's even there when you're asleep. Love is all of these. It's true, and that's how much I love you. Thank you for joining me. I hope you liked the book, Love. Have a good day.
Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Harvey here. I'm just reading one of my favorite books. It's called The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Carle. If you know the words, feel free to join me. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up and pop! Out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. He started to look for some food. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums, but he was still hungry. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges, but he was still hungry. On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, and 1 slice of watermelon. That night, he had a stomach ache. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through 1 nice green leaf, and after that, he felt much better. Now he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon, pushed his way out, and he was a beautiful butterfly. Thank you guys for joining me. I miss you all.
Oh, hey guys, it's Mrs. Cerno here. Hey, I was just going through my daughter's room and I found a book I had given her for Christmas, and it is one of my favorite books, so I wanted to share it with you too. It's called Dear Girl, and it's written by Amy Krauss Rosenthal. Keep that arm raised. You have smart things to say. Dear girl, sometimes you might feel like being pink and sparkly, and sometimes you might feel pretty much the opposite. Dear girl, look at yourself in the mirror and say thank you to something that makes you. Thank you, freckles. Thank you, birthmark. Thank you, red hair. Dear girl, sometimes you just need a good cry. Sometimes you'll need a friend, and sometimes you'll need to be alone. Sometimes you'll need a tissue. Sometimes you'll need a bucket. Dear girl, you know that there is no such thing as asking too many questions. Dear girl, write down your thoughts once in a while, even if it's just to enjoy the way your pen feels against the paper. Dear girl, make your room awesome. Make your room you. And while you're at it, make your bed. Dear girl, don't ever lose your sense of wonder. Dear girl, sometimes you've just got to stop and dance. Dear girl, find people like you. Find people unlike you. Dear girl, create traditions. Fun, crazy handshakes, and silly inside jokes. Dear girl, if your instinct is telling you to say no, you know? Dear girl, color outside the lines is cool too. Dear girl, there are no rules about what to wear or how to cut your hair. Dear girl, you know what's really boring? When people say how bored they are. Dear girl, listen to your brave side. Dear girl, you won't be invited to every single party on the planet, which is really okay. Can you imagine how exhausting that would be? Dear girl, a tree trunk is the perfect place for quiet thoughts to be thunk. Dear girl, whenever you need an encouraging boost, remember, you can turn any page in this book. Most of all, dear girl, who I love, know that you can always, always, always turn to me. I hope you enjoyed this book. I miss you guys so much. I hope you're doing well and keep reading.
Hi guys, we're going to read for you today the story called Brown Bear, What Do You See? This is by Bill Martin Jr. and Eric Carle. Brown Bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. Red bird, what do you see? I see a yellow duck looking at me.
Yellow duck, what do you see? I see a blue horse looking at me. Blue horse, what do you see? I see a green frog looking at me.
Green frog, what do you see? I see a purple cat looking at me. Purple cat, what do you see? I see a white dog looking at me.
White dog, what do you see? I see a black sheep looking at me. Black sheep, what do you see?
Goldfish, what do you see? I see a teacher looking at me. Teacher, what do you see? I see children looking at me.
Hello, Manawa Elementary School. You caught me about to read one of my favorite books. I can read with my eyes shut. I can read in red. I can read in blue. I can read in pickle color too. I can read in bed and in purple and in brown. I can read in a circle and upside down. I can read with my left eye. I can read with my right eye. I can read Mississippi with my eyes shut tight. Mississippi, Indianapolis, and Alleluia too. I can read them with my eyes shut. That is very hard to do. But it's bad for my hat and makes my eyebrows get red hot. So, reading with my eyes shut, I don't do an awful lot. And when I keep them open, I can read with much more speed. You have to be a speedy reader because there's so much to read. I can read about trees and bees and knees on trees and bees on threes. I can read about anchors and all about ants. You can read about ankles and crocodile pants. You can read about hoses and how to smell roses and what you should do about owls on noses. Young cat, if you keep your eyes open enough, oh, the stuff you will learn, the most wonderful stuff. You'll learn about fish bones and wishbones. You'll learn about trombones too. You'll learn about Jake the pillow snake and all about Foo-Foo the snoo. You can learn about ice. You can learn about mice, mice on ice, and ice on mice. You can learn about the price of ice. Nice ice for sale, 10 cents a pail. You can learn about sad and glad and mad. There are so many things you can learn about, but you'll miss the best things if you keep your eyes shut. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. You might learn a way to earn a few dollars, or how to make donuts or kangaroo collars. You can learn to read music and play a hut zut if you keep your eyes open, but not with them shut. If you read with your eyes shut, you're likely to find that the place where you're going is far, far behind. So that's why I tell you to keep your eyes wide. Keep them wide open, at least on one side. Hope you enjoyed.
Hi everyone, Mrs. Poppy here. I picked a funny story for you today. It is called The Obstinate Pen by Frank W. Dormer. Uncle Flood unwrapped his new pen and laid it on the desk. It promptly stood at attention. Uncle Flood shivered with delight. I must have silence when I write, Flood yelled at his nephew. Horace laughed. Uncle Flood removed the cap from his pen and began to write. The following story is all true, but the pen did not write that sentence. What the pen wrote was this: you have a big nose. Uncle Flood could only stare at the paper. He wrote again. The following story is all true. The pen wrote, you have eyes as large as dinner plates. Flood's mouth dropped open. Pen, he yelled. You'd better write what I want this time, or I'll throw you out the window. The following story is all true, he wrote. But the pen wrote, your hair is like a bird's nest. The pen flew out the window and landed in Officer Wankel's ear. Eek, said Officer Wankel. Is something wrong? Asked a woman. A pen, Officer Wankel said. Just what I needed. He began to write a ticket to the woman. Name, Miss Glenda Weeble. But the pen did not write that sentence. What the pen wrote was this: kiss that girl. Officer Wankel's face turned red. He started another ticket. Name, Miss Glenda Weeble. The pen wrote, kiss her, you banana head. Arr, said Officer Wankel. Are you all right? Asked Mrs. Weeble. She thought the officer was very handsome. Sorry, ma'am. It's this pen. He scratched out the last line and tried again. Name, Miss Glenda Weeble. The pen wrote, "If you don't kiss her, you're a yam-yetted organ grinder." Officer Wonko made up his mind. He threw the pen away and pressed a kiss on Miss Weeble's cheek. The pen landed on the street. It stuck to the wheel of Mrs. Norcom Pigeonsmith's automobile. The pen made an awful tick-tick sound until Mrs. Pigeonsmith's driver, Druthers, stopped and pulled it out. "Is a pen," said Druthers. He handed it to Mrs. Norcom Pigeonsmith. "Oh, what a sturdy little pen," she said. "Druthers, fetch me a bit of stationery. I must use this pen to write my memoir." Soon Mrs. Pigeonsmith sat down to write her memoir. She wrote, "I, Miss Norcom Pigeonsmith, related to the great king of Farflandom, have lived a very lush life." The pen wrote, "Mrs. Floofypants has a spoon up her nose." Mrs. Pigeonsmith burst out laughing. "Oh dear, what a precious pen! I must tell everyone about it." She began writing again, and the pen wrote, Your hands have warts." She laughed even louder. Mrs. Norcom Pigeonsmith ordered a large dinner party and invited every one of her friends to try the pen. It insulted a duke, 3 duchesses, and the maid. After the large dinner party, Mrs. Pigeonsmith placed the pen under glass in a room in her house that no one visited. So the pen did what any prisoner would do. It broke out. It landed on the ground and stood straight up, where it was picked up by Horace. He looked at its shiny, smooth barrel. He admired its pointy, flexy tip. Horace walked to the park. He sat down and pulled out a sheet of paper and began to draw. And the pen let him. I hope you enjoyed The Obstinate Pen. Take care, miss you.
Hi, I was just getting ready to read Dragons Love Tacos by Adam Rubin. Hi, Jude. You want to hear about dragons and tacos? Hey, kid. Did you know that dragons love tacos? They love beef tacos and chicken tacos. They love really big, gigantic tacos and tiny little baby tacos as well. Why do dragons love tacos? Maybe it's the smell from the sizzling pan. Maybe it's the crunch of the crispy tortillas. Maybe it's a secret. Either way, if you want to make friends with dragons, tacos are key. Hey, dragon, why do you guys love tacos so much? But wait! As much as dragons love tacos, they hate spicy salsa even more. They hate spicy green salsa and spicy red salsa. They hate spicy chunky salsa and spicy smooth salsa. If the salsa is spicy at all, dragons can't stand it. Why do dragons hate spicy salsa? Well, just one drop of hot sauce makes a dragon's ears smoke. Just one single speck of hot pepper makes a dragon's snot sparks. Spicy salsa gives dragons the tummy troubles. And when dragons get the tummy troubles, oh boy. If you want to make tacos for dragons, keep the toppings mild. Tomatoes, lettuce, cheese. These are all good toppings for tacos for dragons. Hey dragon, how do you feel about spicy taco toppings? Oh boy. Dragons love parties. They like costume parties and pool parties. They like big, gigantic parties with accordions and tiny little parties with charades. Why do dragons love parties? Maybe it's the conversation. Maybe it's the dancing. Maybe it's the comforting sound of a good friend's laughter. The only thing dragons love more than parties or tacos is taco parties. Taco parties are parties with lots of tacos. If you want to have some dragons over for a taco party, you'll need buckets of tacos. Pant loads of tacos. The best way to judge is to get a boat and fill the boat with tacos. That's about how many tacos dragons need for a taco party. After all, dragons love tacos. Hey dragon, are you excited for the big taco party? Just remember, dragons hate spicy salsa. Before you host your taco party with dragons, get rid of all the spicy salsa. In fact, bury the spicy salsa in the backyard so the dragons can't find it. These dragons love your taco party. They love the music. They love the decorations. They especially love the tacos. Congratulations! It's a good thing you got rid of all that spicy. Wait a second. What are those little green things in the salsa? Did you read the fine print? Now with spicy jalapeno peppers. Dragons, listen to me. Do not eat those tacos. Those little green specks in the salsa, those are jalapeno peppers. They are super spicy. I know you love tacos, dragons, but you are not going to love those tacos. Do not let those dragons eat those tacos. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Uh-oh. Too late! Uh-oh. Why would dragons help you rebuild your house? Maybe they're good Samaritans. Maybe they feel bad for wrecking it. Maybe they're just in it for the taco breaks. After all, dragons love tacos. Thanks for joining me. Have a good afternoon.
Hey guys, just caught me and Dexter reading one of my favorite books called You Ain't Gonna Paint No More. One day my mama caught me painting pictures on the floor and the ceiling and the walls and the curtains and the door, and I heard my mama holler like I never did before. You ain't gonna paint no more. I ain't gonna paint no more, no more. I ain't gonna paint no more. That's what I say, but there ain't no way that I ain't gonna paint no more. So I take some red and I paint my head. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Oh, what the heck. Gonna paint my neck. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Still, I just can't rest till I paint my chest. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Guess there ain't no harm if I paint my arm. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. I ain't gonna paint no more, no more. I ain't gonna paint no more. But I just can't stand not to paint my hand. Then I see some black, so I paint my back. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Like an Easter egg. Gonna paint my leg. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Still ain't complete till I paint my feet. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Ain't gonna paint no more, no more. I ain't gonna paint no more. But I'm such a nut. Gotta paint my what? Y'all don't faint, 'cause there ain't no paint, so I ain't gonna paint no more. That's the end. Dexter liked it. See you later.
Oh, hello there. I was just about to read a book. Maybe you'd like to join me for one. It's called Wordy Birdie, and it's written by Tammy Sauer. Care to join me for a story? Meet Wordy Birdie. Wordy Birdie has lots to say. It starts the moment she wakes up. See? Hello, sunrise. Hello, pink sky. Hello, orange sky. Hello, yellow sky. Hello. Oh, hello, gorgeous. Sometimes Wordy Birdie talks about what she likes. I like spaghetti and unicorns and library books and polka dots and standing on my head. And sometimes she talks about what she doesn't like. I don't like tall grass or turtlenecks or long lines or tuna salad or losing my balloons or sometimes she just asks questions. Why do zebras have stripes? Is Bigfoot real? Are we there yet? But she never stops talking long enough to get the answers. Wordy Bird is not the world's best listener. Please. Are we talking about the same bird here? Okay. Wordy Bird is terrible at listening. Now that's more like it. She never listens to anybody, even when she should. This one time, I totally went swimming with a narwhal. My third cousin Barb is a penguin. Really? Do you think there's an award for Bird of the Year? Fact. People used to think the world was flat and you could fall right off the end. One day, Wordy Bird takes a walk into the deep woods. Naturally, she has plenty to say. Well, that's a pretty tree, and that's a pretty danger sign, and that's a pretty tree, and before long, Squirrel zips in front of Wordy Bird. Stop! Don't go any farther. Does Wordy Bird listen? She does not. Oh, a pine cone! Oh, a rock! Oh, a sign! Oh, a leaf! Soon, Rabbit dashes onto the scene. Go back while you still can. Does Wordy Bird listen? She does not. Yay, my friends! Strawberries for me and carrots for me and tomatoes for me? No trespassing, says the sign. Then Raccoon gives a piece of advice. Run for your life! Does Wordy Bird listen? What do you think? Whoa! It's getting darker and darker and darker and darker and darker. Looky there! White circles and triangles. I love white circles and triangles. Oh! Do Squirrel, Rabbit, and Raccoon just leave Wordy Bird there? We do not! Come on, follow us this way. And Wordy Bird? This time, she listens. Hooray! That was almost unbearable. We made it! And Wordy Bird says thank you the best way she knows how. I love you guys. I really, 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 really love you guys. Seriously, I love you more than spaghetti and unicorns and... Wordy Bird still likes to talk. A lot. See? Good night, sun. Good night, orange sky. Good night, purple. Oh, good night, you. But sometimes... Remember when we totally saved you from that bear? You were brave and amazing, and that was so cool. She likes to listen, too. Thanks for joining me for a story today. We'll see you again soon.